You paused it?
No, it's live. We live.
Okay.
We live, y'all.
Happy Friday.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of Tru Be Talking. I am your host, Tru, and I am here today with my wife, Courtney. And this is my first episode. Basically, this show is about whatever I want to talk about. Just whatever's on my mind, whatever I feel like I want to get off my mind, grapes for the week or for that day. Today's show, tonight's show, just something I've been seeing online a lot. And, I've seen family members ask this question about, why don't relationships last the way they used to in the past?
You want to wait a little bit before a couple people come in?
Yeah.
And just start talking?
Yeah. If you, I guess I can wait a little bit, see if we get a few more people to come in, join. But basically, that's it. Just something that I've been wanting to talk about. Things I peep that's been going on, reasons why things may not go the way people think they should go and all that. Don't mind me, I am going to take a shot. It would have been Crown, but I deep freezer froze my liquor. I don't even know what's going on with that.
We are at the age where we actually have a deep freezer, which is dope. I'm excited about the deep freezer. And shout out to my homegirl, Kim, for the shot glasses. They're so super dope. Hey, bro.
Shout out to my auntie for these shot glasses.
I know. Thanks, auntie. 'Cause
they dope. And I love them. Oh, that's good.
Yay.
Okay. So we got a few more people here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So like I said, first show, want to talk about why relationships don't last the way they used to in the past. The first thing I want to say about that is we need to stop fantasizing those relationships. Basically, relationships in the past, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, they had hard relationships too. A lot of those relationships didn't last. Some of the relationships that people know, oh, my grandparents are so good, sometimes those be, second and third marriages. Like, people cheated, people fooled around and had other families across town, and the relationships in the past, they were just as, wild as they are
and
now.
Messy.
And even worse.
Messier.
Even worse because you ain't got no social media. You can get caught. So...
Or, you could, but I think that's one of the things that, like you said, we idealize other people's relationships, and we don't realize what they're going through, especially in these days. You don't know what people are going through in their houses. You don't know what they have going on in their personals, their mentals and all of that. And so you're basing you're basing it on an idealized version of what you think a relationship should be versus what it really is. What it really is.
And that's part of it. The years and years and decades of us being told what a relationship should look like and what a good marriage should look like, and if you're not doing it this way, then you're wrong, and that's part of, because even if you look at how marriage has been presented to us over years and years, it's always been looked at as something that's done to appease women. Something that, if you want to, as a man, if you want to have sex, bro, you got to give us some type of commitment. And the main commitment is, of course, marriage. That was used, that's why it's one of the things on TV and stuff that they use as one of the biggest lies to get a woman to have sex is you're going to marry her and this, that, and the third. But we gotten to a point where it's the brainwashing is really sunk in to where you think you have to trick a woman, or you have to trick a person into thinking that you have this and that, or that you have this type of deep feeling or commitment for them, and that's not good. That's not good at all. That's not how it should go.
So when you're in a situation where you do have you're in a situationship, or you're first starting, like what I see now, because we're far removed from dating, so it's different, now I know. But when you're in a situation where it's seen as, this is what you absolutely have to do, this is what you have to go through, this is what you have to, like, you don't. Just with our story alone, we started out, we were cool. We started dating. We figured out that, at one point, that it wasn't mutual. At one point, and we, actually, it was like, nah. And we were, the biggest thing about it was the communication, because of course I was pissed off that it didn't do exactly what everybody else said it should. But I respected the fact that he was able to talk to me and say, this isn't where I want to go right now. And I was upset. And I mean, but it's one thing about it though. Don't be afraid to leave. I said it. I want this. I knew that I wanted a relationship at some point. And he was like, no.
Yeah, you're talking about like the early part. Basically, back when we were in our single days, I guess.
Yeah, we were single
when we first started talking and kicking it. I was still single and doing my thing, and that's how I wanted to keep it. And she didn't, she already kind of had her mind made up about me from jump, which I didn't see it because I was still doing my thing.
And that's okay.
Live your life.
But you have to start, like, you have to talk about it. That's the thing. Like, I don't know what is the fear about communicating. I guess because you're afraid that if you say something to somebody that they don't like, then they're gonna leave. Well, then that person isn't who you need to be with, period. If that person is wanting to do one thing and you want to do another thing, you can't force that person to do, it doesn't matter. You can't force that person to do what they don't want to do, and they can't force you to change yours either. And that's important. If you have the conversation about, hey, this isn't working like I wanted to, or, there's nothing wrong with saying this isn't working. It's nothing wrong with it. But I think that we get into the habit of wanting to get our way, which I'm bad about that. Wanting to get our way all the time, and not really just focusing on your partner.
Not being willing to compromise.
Yeah.
For the greater of us, and just wanting what I want.
There's nothing wrong with wanting what you want. Like, there's some non-negotiables. I like certain things in certain ways, and that's just how it is. But at the same time, I have to be mindful. Like, I had to be mindful at the time that that wasn't where he was going. And in other situations, I would have continued, just pursuing and going and doing this and that and stuff. We broke up. We broke up for a little bit because, we actually weren't together. We were just.
She gave me an ultimatum.
I gave him an ultimatum, and he said no.
I gave in to the ultimatum.
Oh yeah, you did
for about a week.
For a week, and I felt it was off for the entire week. It was bad, and I felt it. And what honestly, what got it, I can't tell you online what got back, but but really, it was it. I knew that he was my person. I knew it. I knew that was it. And I've always been a strong believer that if it's something that's for you, it's yours. And I didn't chase. Go on back up front. Go back to your bed, man. We got kids, y'all. You want a hug? Daddy gonna give you a hug. But honestly, Vet, I knew that he was my person. I knew that this was gonna be something that I wanted to pursue. But when he said that this was not, he wasn't ready for this, I moved on. Honestly, I moved on, but because he was supposed to be for me, because it came back. And when he came back, it was just like, when and I didn't fight, to be very honest. My fallback game was big. I was like, okay, it's not working. I feel it. You're cutting me off. You're not doing this and that. And he was like, I can't force myself into this situation. And I appreciated it. And that's something that I look for in relationships. Y'all hear them toys. Relationships and friendships and all that. Somebody, we always talk about honesty. We always talk about wanting somebody that's real with us. And when somebody, but the dark end or the best part about it, somebody being honest with you, is that you feel open enough to be honest with yourself about stuff. I was honest with myself. I felt it. Actually told you. I said, I feel like you don't want to be here no more. Like you don't want this. And you were like, But
and I told you no. That was when we broke up.
Yeah, that was when we broke up. He was like, nah, yeah, I like you, but.
But I mean, the key to that is, like you said, is being honest. Is open communication. One of the things that's broke down also is the fact that. The battle between sexes, the battle of the sexes, the gender roles of a woman needs to do this and a man needs to do that. That's got to stop. And at some point, when it comes to talking to the person, to the person that you want to be with or whoever you're in a relationship with, and being honest and open, that gender roles, that hey, I want you to do this and that, all that's got to get out your mind. Like, that trying to get over and trying to be the winner and trying to be in control of the relationship.
The winner. There is no, I mean, we're all winning in the relationship in my brain.
Yeah, you can't be, if you're trying to find out, like one of the weirdest things to me that I hear a lot is when people say that the man should be the leader in a relationship. Like the leader what are we leading? Where are we going? What are we leading towards? Because when it comes to, if you're talking about when it comes to like decisions for the family and things that we're going to do together as far as, where we're going to live and where all this, that, and the third, there shouldn't be a leader in that. There shouldn't be one person just making that decision.
It's a family decision.
That's a conversation. That's something that everybody has to agree on. And
I've always found that weird, because I don't know about anybody else, but like I grew up in a one part of my family is mostly women. It's run by women, and then the other side, although we have a lot of men on this side, again, my grandmother was the one that was more. If there was somebody that was taking care of the house, it was her. And not that my granddaddy didn't have a say, or that he didn't say anything, or he was just my granddaddy was not a pushover. My granddaddy was very strong. He was very, he was very in tune with, but he was in tune with his family. And that's it. You have to be in tune with your family. You have to be in tune with your unit, your couple, whoever it is. That's who you're in tune with. Everybody else, like all this stuff on, you see all the fluff on everywhere else and people talking, these quote unquote relationship gurus you have to follow your own stuff. You have to follow yourself, what works for you all. We're not, I don't think we're super conventional as a couple. We never have been, but it works for us. And what works for us, period. That's it. You can't allow there's always, room for influences. But you have to have, like you said, D, you have to have the conversation with each other. It's not what, other people think about this. Is what do you think about this? What is going on with you? And that's where, when we're talking about gender roles and all of that, well, this person needs to be washing dishes, or this person needs to be doing this, or this person needs to take care of this piece. We're all responsible. It's our house. It's our relationship. We're responsible putting into it, and growing together in our relationship. We're both responsible for that. It's not I'm responsible. I'm just gonna be caring for the kids, and you gonna be doing it. You have to have that that conversation with your partner about, hey, what we gonna do? What is this gonna look like? What works best for us? Oh, that shit don't work for us. Oh, that does work for us. That's cool, you know. Um, how do you balance being? Am I balancing? Um, to be honest, everything has its place. Uh, I learned a long time ago that working is important because we got to have money, because we got to have a place to stay. We have to have food. We have to have clothes. I love to eat. Kids love to eat. He love to eat. We got to have these things. Work has its place, but it's not the most important thing to me. And I make that known to anybody, to my colleagues, my supervisors. I like y'all enough, but I love my family, and that's it. Parenting is different too, and balancing that with work and stuff. It's tough, especially when it's three of them and two of us. It's tough, but again, it goes back to those conversations. We talk. We're trying to do, a different thing, and so we talk about that. We talk about when we mess up. We try to, we try to, we forgive ourselves. We talk, we tell each other, hey, you were acting this way this time. Oh, well, I was feeling this way. We express ourselves, we emote, we do all the things, and that's how we balance. But because you gotta have, and because he is a strong support in the house, that helps me balance, because I'm off sometimes, and
we balance each other out.
Yeah.
It's one, like she was saying earlier, it's not one person taking on one load by themselves. It's not one person, hey, you're gonna deal with the kids, and then I'm gonna deal with the laundry and the dishes, and then you're gonna deal with keeping the rooms clean. It's not anything like that. It's hey, I see the kids might need a little extra something right now, and I know you usually do that, but I'm gonna do it this time because I see you got your hands full. It's working together. It's making sure that we're all taken care of.
But you have to be in constant communication. I be like, when we first started talking, before we had kids, and when we had gotten serious with each other, one of the things that frustrated me was that he talked, but he didn't express himself like I do. Y'all know I talk a lot. You know me, I talk all the time, and I'm not afraid to shy. I don't shy away from my feelings or my emotions ever. That wasn't his ministry, and so that frustrated me, because I'm used to sharing my emotions. I'm used to, if something's wrong, we deal with it. And the balance there was that sometimes he has to process different, and I had to learn that. Because when I want to do something, I want to talk right then. We got to get it over with this now. And if you can't tell, I'm bossy. So when that happens, he says to me, actually, I process like this. I'm a little more, it takes me a little more time to think about this, so I'll get back with you whenever. But that helps me know that he hears what I'm saying. He understands that I need to talk, or I need to do whatever, but he's not gonna be, he's gonna take the time that he needs, and I need to give that to him. And I do now, because I had to learn that. But it's really just the balance and act between being a couple. We care about each other. We care about, we really give a crap about each other. We really do listen to each other. We joke with each other. We have fun. We don't take each other super seriously all the time. We don't hardly, if you ever been around, we don't really just fuss with each other like that, but not because we don't have, beef with each other sometimes, but it's usually not anything that we can't process and talk through. It's usually something that we're gonna have to talk through, and that's just what it is. It's really as simple and as hard as communication. Period.
Yep. And love is not the key.
He don't believe that love is enough.
Love is not enough. I mean, you, like she was just saying,
we love you too, darling.
We talk to each other. We can sit in a room together and be quiet and don't have to say anything, and there's no issue. You have to like the person that you're with.
You have to like them.
It's not enough to just love. Love has no sense at all. It doesn't communicate. Your heart and your brain are not connected. Logic, your heart has nothing to do with logic. Love has nothing to do with logic. Love is, this is how crazy love is. The people I'm talking to right now on my timeline, I know for a fact some of y'all got people that you love that you can't be in a room for longer than 10 minutes with. That's love. That's how crazy love is. Love is you can love somebody to death and literally hurt them and kill them. You don't usually do that with people you like. People you like, you give a little more grace, a little more space, a little more time. With people you like, you want to see them happy, you want to see them succeed, you want to see them prosper. So you'll do more for them. You'll make sure that they're taken care of. You'll make sure that, you know, if they're going through something, or if they're working on something, that their load isn't too heavy. Because it's not about trying to see, you know, hey, do you need me or do you not need me? It's okay. I don't care if they need me. I'm here.
And it's not a tit for tat.
It's not. Can't be a tit for tat.
And that's again. That was something that I had to. That's what I had to learn, because,
especially with kids,
and especially with children, like that tit for tat does not. We'll talk about that in just a second, Vic. But like our homie just said, you do have to choose each other. You have to choose to work on it, and it's not, to me, it hasn't been tough. We've been together total, we've been together almost 11 years. We've been married for almost 9 of those, and so it's been work, but it hadn't been labor. It hadn't been, oh my God, I gotta pull myself up because today I gotta like this. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not where our brain is. Our brain is, you know, I care about you. I love seeing you in your element. I really want to know about you.
I've never been about drama.
And he's not dramatic. Like whatever he's feeling is what he feels, and that he says it. And that's what really got me, because I had been used to being in spaces where I had to walk on eggshells, because if I didn't, then somebody was going to be upset about something, and I didn't have to feel that with him. That was a relief. I don't feel like I have to censor my words. If I have something to say, especially if I don't care for something that he has done, I don't feel like I'm going to get in trouble for saying it. I feel like I can be an adult and say things and be respectful, of course. But even if I'm a little disrespectful about it, it's hey, bro, you pushing the envelope, or hey, we just talked about this. Our only argument that we have had for 11 years is about me not turning my phone on off of silent, because I hate the noise. And this has been an 11-year discussion, debate, argument that we have had. I'm gonna do better. I may not. It's been 11 years. I may not never get right. You said, do y'all think marriage is a business contract? It is. It takes, how much money it takes to get up out of there. It's a contract. It is.
So with marriage, so when it comes to relationship, I like to say relationship. I don't really like to say marriage, because the relationship is what it is. Your relationship does not get better because you propose and you put a ring on it. You don't get like a extra bag of attributes to go towards your relationship just because you got engaged. Like that. The only thing marriage does is make your relationship legal, and it makes you harder for you to break up. Period. You are now, y'all go together legally. Y'all go together legally. That's all marriage does.
Everything is together.
You literally sign your names on a contract. So
that is a contract.
It's definitely
a business move.
It's a business move. It's a contract.
The IRS tracks it.
Because if you have,
I'm not turning my phone on, Vet. Sorry.
If you have a disrespectful, cheating, lying partner, while y'all in y'all regular part of the relationship, when
They
y'all
gonna do
just
that.
going together, if you decide to marry this person, you just got a lying, cheating spouse. That's all you have. That marriage does not change. The only thing that can make anyone change or act right or do
It's them.
is them. It's wanting to.
It's wanting to.
When she was talking about how we started out, nothing changed about it until I wanted to. I wasn't going to cheat on her, so that's why I didn't want to start the relationship, because I wasn't.
And
he
said that's what
way.
he said. He said, "I don't cheat. I leave before I cheat. I'd rather do something else.
I'd rather just not be together.
I'd rather not be together if that's gonna be what it is.
If that's gonna be what it is, and that's a lot of people take the going together stage. I know there's difference. I know the stages have changed since I've been in the game. But it used to be like, you're talking, and then you make it official, you make the commitment, and then you're in your relationship. I think a lot of people take that commitment part in the relationship. I think they take that really light. I think that's why we're seeing so many people seeing it. It kind of seems like that cheating has become like inevitability. I fucked that word up. It's becoming inevitable for someone to cheat on you. Like it
and that's
ridiculous.
there are so many other. My thing is,
That's
find
ridiculous.
the person that's for you. If an open relationship is what you really want, there are people who want open relationships. Go there.
But also, you gotta be
that
open.
Is a relationship.
You gotta be open to what that relationship fully
That
brings.
is a. I'm not versed on the polyamorous lifestyle, but I do know that in that lifestyle, or just like with anything else, it is a communication. It's more communication.
Actually, that one.
It's more.
I couldn't imagine.
It's more because it's you
trying to get on that level with that many
else,
people, yeah.
And it's maybe somebody else, bruh. Like I'm barely dealing with the people in my head and the people that's outside externally. More power to that, but that is all. That's what it is. And no, everybody does not cheat. If you're in a situation where you really care for a person and you talk to them and say, hey, I am single until I'm married, and I believe that wholeheartedly, we're gonna just talk about it. We're adults, and I know that's tough sometimes for people, and most of the thing that we're gonna be talking, it is conversation. It's having a real life conversation, not the frou-frou shit. Like, yeah, what's your favorite? What's your sign? What's this? What's that? That's cool, but like, what are we doing here? What do you want to do? Oh, I'm just and honestly, at first for us, it was we just playing around. This is just somebody I like, and he cute, and
she caught feelings.
I caught feelings. Jeez Louise, how dare I?
Face ass.
But having the conversation about, yeah, this is what I feel, and I can't help it. That's really what it is. And I don't know. I think that I think we fall into that trap again of comparing what we should be, what our relationship should look like versus what everybody else's relationship. And people, ain't nobody got this shit together. Ain't nobody got it together.
Nobody.
Like
what I've discovered, like one of the things that we used to do, like when she was talking about how we would have a disagreement or something happened throughout the day, we would get together at the end of the day and sit down and talk.
His grandma actually told us to do that.
Yeah. Never go to bed angry. It's
Never go to bed angry.
It's one of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten about marriage. I think it's probably one of the only pieces of advice I got about marriage, but it's one of the best. Don't go to bed angry. It's just, and it's not, when we have our conversation, like people talk about communication, and talking is part of it. Listening is the other part of it. But the main part that people are missing is we're not talking or communicating to find out who's right or who's wrong. We're not trying to figure out, hey, well, you did this and this is why I did this and blah, blah, and again, you were wrong. And trying to get an apology. What we're trying to do is trying to figure out, hey, what happened? What happened? Why did you react the way that you react? Okay, well, this is the reason why I acted the way I did. And it's coming up with a solution to figure out, hey, what can we do next time to make sure that we don't bump heads like this?
Because we do, and people will not believe, but we bump heads every now and again about things, and we're not always 100%,
cheery
and
happy
Disney
happy
princess.
to see each other.
No, some days it's like,
I want to cuss your ass out.
A little bit.
And it happens.
A little bit.
It happens, bro.
A little bit.
We human. Everybody's
We're human.
human. But it's having that understanding of, I'm not going to disrespect you. We can talk it out without having an argument.
And we do.
And that's like the biggest thing, because I'm not going to argue about anything.
He don't.
I'm not going to argue about anything.
I like an argument.
We can sit down and we can talk about it. We can talk about it and we can figure our way through it. And honestly, that's been the best thing, is because now when something happens, we can come to each other and easily be like, okay, well, that's what happened. I was wondering what was going on, because that's the reason why I did this. And it's just a lot of the times it's be just simply misunderstanding. Just misunderstanding. Like, I thought you was gonna go left and you went right, and I didn't understand why you was going right, and that's why I yelled, and then you was wondering why the hell I'm yelling at you for going right, and then but you had a reason for going right, but I didn't know that reason. And that's how like 90% of our conversations ended up after we bumped heads. It's figuring out how to communicate, it's figuring out how to listen, not to respond, but listening to understand what's being said, and figuring, okay, so I see what you're saying, and this is what I did, or this is why I reacted the way I did.
And you're right that it does not keep a tally of who did this, who did. That's that tit for tat. And we are the way that this society is that you do this, I'm gonna do that. You do this, I'm gonna do that. It's a call and response or reactionary versus being a proactive discussion, like what he's saying about us having those conversations. We are, and we're not perfect. We're not perfect. We deal with things just as we can when we can, but we talk about everything.
Everything come with time. It's just
girl.
It's just time. Just
I grew up the way that my relationships prior to this was I was it was definitely the well, you did this, and so I'm not gonna do this. And I've been in those situations where it was no communication. It was just it was a lot of hostility in some parts, and misunderstandings that grew into hostility, and or grew into, well, I'm not going to be fooling with you anymore, or I'm leaving because whatever. But no, that's something that we had to work on together. And that's what something that we want to do for everybody, though. It's like in your relationship, whether it's with your partner, whether it's with your kids, whether it's with other family members, just talk to them about stuff, and don't be afraid to talk. That's one thing that as much as I do talk, sometimes I do get afraid to talk about the real stuff, and he's very brave about it. He's very, very to the point, and that has taught me how to be to the point and be more bold and more likely to tell the truth from my perspective.
Oh yeah, and
they don't.
I know I'm gonna speak out against something we've been taught all our lives. When it comes to, like, if you're in a relationship, you're with the person, you think, well, let's take a drink break. Like I was saying, you in a relationship and you with the person you think you want to go to that next level with.
Oh no, Vet, this is what we need. This is what we need.
Yeah, if y'all serious, I would say before you make a real commitment, or if y'all really thinking about going that way to marriage, y'all need to live together.
You have to.
need to live together before you get married. Please move in and live together. Though if it's just a boyfriend girlfriend and y'all just fooling around and y'all like don't do it.
When we were in Hattiesburg, I had my own apartment. Now I had my own apartment in Point Woods, and he stayed in Park West?
Yeah.
Stayed in Park West, but we both stayed in Park West. I was there all the time, and I got to see his habits. He got to see mine. I snore. You get to understanding who that person is in a everyday situation.
You get to see how that person lives.
You see how they live, but you don't. I know
one of the hardest things to do is live with somebody else.
Yeah,
having roommates suck. Having roommates suck. Any roommate. I lived with my best friend my freshman year in college, and me and him even got into it over nothing. He hated the fact that I never fixed my bed. And I hated the fact that all his shoes was lined up. And we got into it over that. It's just, bro, living with somebody else is tough.
You have to live with, you have to get know, man.
Before you make a serious commitment like that, you definitely need to live with that person and see what they like. Do they wash dishes? Do they clean? Is the kitchen clean before they go to bed at night?
How do they wash dishes? Because apparently,
how do they wash dishes?
Apparently, there's a specific way that you're supposed to wash dishes.
How do they deal with clothes? They laundry situation. Do they just have a dirty clothes corner or a dirty clothes closet, or do they have a hamper? Like simple stuff like that can lead into arguments. Mm-hmm. Like my whole being and everything has been the fewest amount of arguments. What can I do to keep us from bumping heads?
He does not like arguing.
And I'm easy to go along with. So, but if I feel like something is not right or if it's need to be done a different way, I put my foot down. I'm not gonna be just like no, yes to everything. But you gotta
how they put toilet paper is facing out.
Yeah, I know that's a big one.
I
put it on either way, bro.
Facing out. I let the kids do it their way because they're learning how to do stuff like that. So I don't trip on it. But when it comes to me in my bathroom, I call it mine. It's faces out. Yes, that you have to be compatible on some level. You have to have some of the same. You have to have some of the same values in order to make it work. I don't think like you don't have to be 100% everything. You know, you like bicycles, I like bicycles. You like, you know.
Like when you say core values, I'm guessing
are you talking about like religion?
Like same, yeah, like religion. Or not even religion, just the things that you hold important and hold true, I guess, is what you're saying. Because if that's the case, then yeah, like I think we're both mainly about family. Yeah. We're both, about each other. And to me, that's pretty much my core values. I'm right. I'm with my family. I'm make sure I'm straight with my family, and I'm good with my people. That's me. Mm-hmm. I
think, but I do think that you, I think you have to have the main things. Like, if I was, I don't know, like if I was against religion, yeah,
politics. I mean, all that stuff, religion and politics. That
he's gonna talk about that later.
Religion, he's gonna talk about that. That can.
I think you have to have some of the. It's the same thing with the communication for me. You have to have. You have to be able to come to a consensus.
Yeah.
Because say for instance, both of us come from a very devout Christian background. Like both of us came from that kind of thing, but his was a little different. Their Christianity was a little different from what ours was.
Holiness, baby.
Holiness
is what we read.
Yeah, and I was missionary Baptist, so we're a little loosey goosey, But that didn't stop us from communicating about what God means to us and who God is, what we believe in. That we ended up talking about it, and we have some of the same thoughts and questions. But we see eye to eye on that. That's something that I think that's. But as far as it perfectly aligning, sometimes it won't.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like religion, I think your core, and I don't want to tell you how to believe or how to practice because I personally don't practice anymore, but I would say that if you're both religious, regardless of your sect, if you're Catholic or Baptist or whatever the case may be, I think at the core you both need to believe in God, of course. Love, the basic stuff, the love, belief, and trusting and leaning on each other. I think that needs to be the core values in your relationship, at least. And then when it comes to politics,
child,
they all dirty,
and we agree on that. But yeah,
dirty.
I agree with that. Common ground and goals and vision are important. We have some of the same, like we motivate each other because of that, through that. There are some things that, like from this page, from this conversation that we're having now, to even the one that we have with the children's books. We motivate each other to do that. That's something that, we both believe in sharing information, and we both believe in taking care of people and making sure people are that they get the real stuff and not the shit that people are just giving out, and so yeah, that it felt, even though his is more adult centered and mine is more children centered, it's still the same thing. The message is that we are a Black family, and we believe in each other, and we believe in our family. We believe in the people that we love, and we're gonna take care of them, period. And that's just how it is.
And when it comes to family, and understand this, if you have anybody that comes into your life that tries to separate you from your family, get away from that.
That's
person.
A red flag.
Get away from that person.
First of all, that's abusive.
If they come into your life and they are starting any type of confusion or craziness with your family, red flag. Throw the relationship away. Let them know what's going on. More than likely, that is a play. When someone comes in and does that, when they're trying to separate you from your family, they're trying to separate you from your support. They're trying to, because in order,
they want to be the only one that you can depend on.
I don't want to say you absolutely need both of your families to support you to have a successful relationship, because everybody ain't gonna like everybody, but. If you're cool with
your family, if you have
a good relationship with your family, that person comes in, they need to have a good relationship with your family. They have to, regardless. I don't care how much you like them, how much you love them. If it's any kind of confusion or any kind of tension between your family and your partner, then you need to have a sit down with your partner and your family. Everybody needs to sit down, and they need to iron that out now. Like that, it's got to be situated, because how can we be together as a family if our families don't? It can't work.
And you're right.
It's difficult to work.
It doesn't have to be blood. That could be the close friends that you build, the network that you build, your village that you build, and somebody comes in and tries to manipulate the situation so that you're on the outskirts now, and now you're the one they're the only one that you can depend on. Over with. You can talk to them about it, but realistically, that's something that they might be trying to do to get you out of your element. Yeah. Vet has a question for you.
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
how did he know that I was the one?
Like, and that's funny though, because it kind of happens. It kind of goes in with like how I proposed. The way I knew was just, I can give you a story about when I first kind of realized she was serious about me. I was about to get kicked out of my apartment. I ain't gonna say for why, but I was about to get kicked out of my apartment, and I called her, and instead of her being like, well, this person should have did this, blah, blah, blah. Well, first thing she said, well, okay, well, we can get a storage for your stuff, and you can stay over here with me until you find a little place to go. And I was like, yo, she's kind of serious, huh?
And I'm a planner.
Like,
I'm a planner.
That's crazy. Okay.
Put me on your zombie apocalypse team for
But-
real, because I'm gonna plan through it.
And it was also just being in the relationship with her, like finding out her flaws, things I didn't like, and calling her on it, and just seeing her work at it to be better, to do better. And I did the same for her. And it was just when I saw that we were basically on that level, and it got to a point like when I moved to Louisiana, I had moved to Louisiana to work on a shipyard, and it was a terrible job. And she left her job, like literally quit her job and moved to Louisiana. And we got an apartment. I was the only one working. I hated my job, and she ended up getting an offer to a school in Texas, and that's when she was like, with my boy Abner was talking about SFA.
Hey Abner, I asked about you the other day. I miss your face.
And she was just like, well, I got this job, but they say the only way that we can even stay together or live together is if we're married. And I'll never forget it. I just looked up at her and said, I ain't going nowhere. And that's pretty much how I proposed. That was basically it was just something I knew in my mind, like when I was talking earlier about your mind and your heart not communicating. Logic and love don't have anything to do with each other. I knew in my mind, more than I knew in my heart, I knew in my mind that I'm not going anywhere. This is the person I want to be with. I can't think of another woman that could come to me and no, like this is who I want. This is who I want to build the rest of my life with, and this is what we're gonna do. And that's pretty much what it was from there. But that also came from a Jay-Z line. It sounded like some player shit at the time, and that's why I loved the line. But it ended up making more sense as I got older. He told her, he said, "Our time together is our time together, and our time apart is our time apart. So love Jay with your mind, girl, and not your heart." And I used to rock like that. Like, I love you with my mind. I'm all right. But then after a while, it actually started making sense. Like, you got to know in your mind, like, is this a good situation? Is this person, positive for me? Are they for me, and are they about me? And am I completely about them? And that's just one thing, if you're in that situation with someone, you got to start asking yourself. Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of thought work. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm emotional off rip. Everything is about it. And I've always been in tune with who I am. Well, not always, but I as an adult, I've been very in tune with who I am. And so it started out as just chilling. And I knew that, I don't know, it's something clicked. And I said, that's it. He's it. I felt it. It was something visceral. I felt a connection. And unlike, it wasn't in my brain because I didn't understand it, but it was emotional for me. And so because we're already unconventional, I'm an unconventional person anyway, I pursued him the way that I knew how, and that's to take care of him. I knew that I wanted to make sure that he was good, even though we weren't married or whatever, but we weren't even together when I knew that he was going to be my person. I knew it. And, it was just convincing him that he also knew, but it was really just figuring out a way to show him that that I'm better than all the other bitches out there. Like, and to be frank, like I took that as a challenge. I did. I knew that he was still in his play stage or whatever, and I respected him for being honest about that. And I didn't try to do anything like wayward or anything. It was just well, I'm here. We cool until we weren't. And then I was like, you made your decision and I'm going to go by my business. And Doggone birthday weekends.
It's just playing. It's a game. Play the game the right way, man.
I played.
Play it the right way.
I play to win. I'm an Aries. I got the win.
My single days, like I said, I felt like I played it right. I didn't commit to anybody I didn't want to commit to. Mm-hmm. When I did commit, I didn't go around fooling around on people and stuff. I didn't like that. I actually got cheated on once. That shit sucked. And I wouldn't want to do that to somebody else. And that can damage you and take you to a place where it's tough to come back from. And do we have deal breakers? I don't think so.
We haven't talked about that part. Because we have, like, you talking about like cheating and
like it's something because it's the basic stuff. It's cheating or being dishonest just because there's no reason for it.
Messing over the kids.
Not doing right by the kids.
Not doing right. And those are things that we, especially about the kids. We not gonna not take care of our kids. And the day that happens, then we know that something is wrong, and we need to figure out what's going on. Why are you acting like this? Why are you cutting up like this? Non-negotiables, definitely the kids. Definitely the kids. Definitely
fidelity.
Shutting down and not sharing anymore, because that's a large part of who we are, is the communication. So you shutting down and not talking at all, that's a non-negotiable. We like some of the same things, so
it's so much that goes into it. Like, we could talk about just communicating just for an episode,
because that's it.
Because communication is so
but that's the thing though. We know that we wouldn't put anything over our kids. Like, that's something that, no, there's nothing that's more important than their development. We love each other. We're in love with each other, but we would never fuck over our kids.
But now keep in mind, we'll never put the kids over our relationship.
We won't. We love our kids.
You gotta have a line between the kids and that too, because kids will. They'll try to fuck up your relationship. They'll hate on it. They will. I've seen it.
Not ours.
Yeah, you've seen it. The kids will boo us when we hug and kiss each other.
Oh yeah, they do.
They will literally try to. If we hug each other, they will literally try to come and get between us. Your kids will try to get between you.
Because they want all the snuggles.
They're people.
They want all the snuggles.
And they can be messy. Want to come and ask you something, and you say no, and they'll go ask the other person. And if y'all ain't communicating,
but we check them on that.
Yeah, we check with each other first.
Yeah, but we check the kids before, because they have tried to play the mama daddy thing. Yeah, and we have told them.
Molly tried that a couple times, and after the second time it didn't work. She haven't really tried.
But we said, hey, if I say no, it's no. And if you say no, it's no.
And if you
I'm not going back on it.
I'm gonna ask your mama.
And he does. What your mama say?
What your mama say? That's gonna be the first time.
What your mama say? And I hear everything, so I ain't say that.
Oh, that is so dumb.
Who getting fed first? Whoever hungry.
That's so dumb. We feed the kids.
We feed the kids. Both of us.
It's get them out the way.
I don't think you understand. When it's 1 or 2. It's manageable. When it's 3, it's everybody's hands on deck, because they outnumber us. I have to say that low, because I think they get it now, but we don't want to reiterate. They outnumber us. We have to work together.
Yeah. Even before they did, but yeah, we still did the same thing.
Kids, we feed the kids.
Feed the kids. I know how to fix my plate.
And I will every now and again, just to be nice if he's doing, because it's usually him fixing, because he has bigger hands. He fixes 2 of the kids' plates. I fix 1 kid, mine, or maybe his plate sometimes. But we don't play, again, that feeds into that gender role thing. Who we can take care of each other. That's not something that we need to feel validated in our relationship. It doesn't make me less of a wife. It doesn't make him less of a husband.
It doesn't make anybody less of a wife or a husband
if they
do or don't fix a plate. this picturesque relationship that people have in their minds from the 50s and 60s of a man sitting at a table waiting to be
cut that because
kill that noise,
in
bro.
real life, let's be real, in our families we have seen this. We have seen where it's mostly matriarchal. It's women who may be single who are taking care of kids together. It's grandma who is the head of the house. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of situation. And in the especially in the brown and the black community, that's us. We have those situations. I'm not, and that's not me being disrespectful to him. If he hungry, hey babe, can you fix me something? Yeah, I'll fix it. I don't care. And most times, especially because food is too high, I'm cooking. You gonna fix your own damn plate. I just got through cooking. I'm finna lay down and watch TikTok reels for an hour. I'm done.
I like fixing my own plate because she might not know how much I want.
And so no.
That like little pointless, like
petty stuff like that.
Insignificant stuff like that. That shit.
I'm not gonna turn down. I'm not turning down nobody's.
Who eats
bed.
first? Who gets their?
I know.
Who fixed the plates? Who what's another one? Who do you choose between your wife and your mom? Like that's like if that's a question that's coming up, you don't need that woman. You don't need that person. If you have to pick between your significant other and a parent, that's not a good relationship, bro. I'm sorry. People want to say, well, you got to pick your wife because you look, bro. No, you need to sit your wife and your mama down and have a conversation, bro. Like
I love both of y'all.
Y'all can't be beefing over nothing.
And I don't want y'all beefing.
These are two important people in your life.
You need them both.
You need them both. Stop trying to
either or it.
Yeah, we got to stop making picks and coming up with these crazy ass scenarios that don't even matter. A lot of this stuff don't matter, and a lot of the stuff that does matter can be figured out with a simple conversation, with sitting down and being honest with each other. And that's period. Like that's it. Mm-hmm. Bruh, straight up, bruh. You gotta kill that toxicity with the family, bruh. You cannot be fighting or have your significant other and your family fighting. It's not gonna work.
I don't think that black love. I think black love is hard to sustain. If you make it hard, I think it is definitely a pull. It is definitely a push. I'm not gonna say it is definitely a push to keep the community divided, and I think we naturally want to come together. So it's pushing out that noise and listening to the needs of your partner. You're gonna hear the women, all women do this, all men do this. What they got to do with Tremaine and Courtney? Are we a part of this? Is this something that we're engaging in? If we are, what can we do? Is this something that we want to? Is it something that, like society will try its very best, and I think it is by design to divide and conquer, but we as a people, period, we want to work together. We want to get together. We want to be with our own. We want to be with people who lift us up and sustain us. And when we find that, we fight for that. We keep that. I think it's not, again, it's not as simple as don't listen to anybody, but it's intentional. It's intentionality. I intend to be with this person, and I don't give a crap what nobody say. What society deems is right or wrong when it comes to this relationship. It's our relationship, and society be damned.
I mean, I don't agree fully that it's hard. I agree that we make it hard for the simple fact the one thing that we need to do in our community and in the world, period, but especially in our community, the mindset has to change. We have to mature, period. we have to mature. Like as men, I hate to say this, but the patriarchy, that patriarchal mindset, that shit gotta die. We at least gotta kill it on our side, cause that's kind of what's keeping everything from going forward, keeping us from progressing, keeping us from being able to love the women, our women, the way we supposed to, and keeping our families together the way they should, is having that mindset of you have to do something this way, or if your household doesn't look like this, then it's not right. Mm-hmm. And that mindset is been put in our society and controlled in our society for forever by white men. Period. Mm-hmm. That's who have the control. That's who have the control to control that narrative. It's been white men that's been telling you that your household has to look like this.
And their households don't look like that.
Your wife has to be this way, and your kids should look this way, and you should be this way. The conversation about 50-50 and all that, pointless conversations, people. Pointless conversations. Your household, your relationship works the way you need it to, and the way it works for you, and the way it's comfortable for you and your partner. So if you're comfortable with one person paying all the bills and taking care of everything, nigga, if you can do that in this economy, bro, with the way shit going these days, bro, handle your business. Do that. But if you don't work a job that's making $150,000, $200,000 a year, and your partner don't want to work and want you to take care of all the bills, bro, leave it. You gotta let that go. That mindset is done. That shit is done. They've raised the price, the wage. They've raised wages maybe 4 or 5 times since the 50s and 60s.
And like, it's still nothing.
Seriously, they raised it maybe 5 or 6 times since the 50s and 60s, but everything else has went up 5 times since then, 10 times now maybe. That mindset don't work. It don't work. It don't work. It didn't work. It's never worked for relationships. Control and abuse has always been a cornerstone of relationships. Men have used marriage as a way for abuse, like what I was talking about earlier with a person coming in and trying to split separate a person from their family. They use marriage to do that. A lot of the times that happens, they get married within the first 3 to 4 months of meeting each other. Like that is complete.
You don't know nobody,
and you don't even know them. That's control. Like that, we have to get out of that mindset of the man has to be the leader, that the woman should be submissive and obey. Like that is the worst shit I ever heard when talking about a relationship. Submissive? Why you want somebody to submit to you? Why do you want that's not a relationship. That's ownership. That's slavery, bro. Why do you need somebody to be under your every whim and whatever you say goes, and you the only one that can have an idea? Like that shit don't even make sense. Cause if I'm the only one making the decisions in the household and not taking my significant other's ideas or saying into consideration, we're gonna be fucked up as a family. You can't make it that way. It takes
it's a heavier burden for that person too. Because if you are the only one, you're the sole one that has the final say, the only one that has heavy is the head. And if you got 2 people who are capable adults, why would you just use one person? Why would you just have one person making decisions? No, we're 2 capable adults. And that's not to say that, there's sometimes that someone has to take the lead in some things. But that doesn't mean that you're the only leader. It's just like with anything else on projects at work, things that you do in your own personal life. There's some things that I have a natural talent for. Again, planning and doing stuff like that. That's my natural talent. I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to do it. And his talent is something that's a little more, it's a little more of the practical things.
Right. So
that's his talent.
She'll come up with a plan or something, and I might see something that was okay. Well, instead of doing it that way, why about we change this part?
That's efficiency.
That's more practical. and I mean we've saved money, saved time, save the energy just from simple stuff like that. Just talking, okay, we going to a park on Saturday? What's the plan? Well, this is what I had in mind. Blah 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 blah. Okay, all that sounds good, but what if we do this, and this instead of that part? Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. And I was trying to figure out how to do that. Like, it's got to be open communication. It's got to be trust. Trust is the most important thing in a relationship.
And communication.
Communication is very important. Trust is the backbone. Mm-hmm. Trust is what keeps everything. Because once the trust is gone, what do you have? Trust is the most important thing in any relationship, any friendship, any workship, anything. Trust. Because if I can't trust you, what's the point? If we're in a friendship, if I can't trust you, that if I tell you something that it's not gonna get spread across the U.S., you're not a good friend. I don't want to be friends with you. If we're in a relationship together, and you go outside the relationship, you cheat, I find out about it, which you're more than likely gonna get caught because you're dealing with another person. Once you get caught, that trust is broken. And trust is very hard to get back. Pretty much, once the trust is broken, you can damn near throw the relationship away. It's pretty much over.
I don't believe that part, though.
I didn't say you could throw it. I say you have to. I say you can damn near.
Oh yeah.
Because even if you gain my trust back, that thought is always in the back of your head. I've been cheated on. That thought is always in the back of your head. Like, no matter what.
Yeah.
And the minute you show, because the reason you got caught cheating is because you started showing different.
Yeah.
Something was off. Something is off. You can't be dealing with multiple people and keep that same energy.
You're not.
And it's going to go away. Something's going to be off.
You're not.
So the very second something after you've gained their trust, and the very minute something feels off again, then it all comes back. It all comes back. It brings back all that distrust. Because that's what's there now. It's not trust. It's distrust. And as soon as something that happens that ignites that, it's done. That relationship is pretty much over with. And I feel like that's one of the things in the community that we gotta. I know we take cheating and dealing with other people, cheating on people and all that kind of light, but it's really serious, and it's something that really that really needs to stop and slow down, or we got to get that figured out, because trust is
everything.
Trust is everything when you're dealing with people.
We do have outside lives, kind of, but with the pandemic and stuff, we really have been. Honestly, I've grown to be more of a homebody because of the pandemic. But yeah, when we want to go do stuff with our friends, we do the right things with our friends. But the way that is, y'all know, and especially if you're in DFW, you know that it's expensive to do stuff. I get tired. Like right now it's like 9:30. I'm usually in the bed, not sleep, but definitely in the bed. And so things that are extra late, probably not so much. And with kids, it's difficult because we don't have necessarily babysitters and stuff. So if one of us wants to go somewhere, then the other one stays at home or, whatever. And that's just, it is what it is. And so we have, I have my friends. He has his friends that are separate. We have friends that are mutual. I hang out. I do go. Now I've been trying to go more places and stuff. And sometimes my work makes me go places. And yeah, somewhat. But for the most part, I don't go too many places because there's not too many places to go that is gonna be reasonable. And we are mindful. We're mindful of what we can do. We try not to live beyond what we can. And it is what it is. When he was doing especially when they were real heavy with Skyline, when they were doing the music stuff a lot more, he would have to be gone. Sometimes he have to go to Mississippi, like we're here. He have to travel to Mississippi, or he have to travel to somewhere in Texas, or he have to go downtown Dallas, and that was a part of his branding and his music. And so I felt the way. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say that I was super supportive all the time, because I wasn't. Sometimes it was like, bruh, I'm gonna have to stay up because you know I can't go to bed without you here. I'm gonna have to stay up till you get home, or take a cat nap or something like that. But we do try to live. We give each other space. It's not like I have to be here all the time. We try to give each other space. I try to be mindful because it usually is me going somewhere else. Because most times he is gonna stay at home because he's a homebody too. But I try to be mindful about that too, and we it works. And we go a lot of places with our kids too. So,
I mean, that's a good question. Also, when you say, I think that's also one of the reasons people split up is because when you say, do you grow together or do you grow? It's both, because you're still separate people. You're still separate people. And you both are still growing. You're still, going through, and that's something people don't really. I'm 36 now. Damn. Well, I'm 35, about to be 36. Mm-hmm. But what people don't realize is you still grow. You're still learning. You're still maturing. You're still getting new experiences. Tastes change. Hobbies change. It's just being able to appreciate the person that you're with, and understanding their growth, and seeing their growth, and just being happy for them. Just seeing, because if you would have told me, 10 years ago, we'd be living in the house and Courtney would be growing potatoes in the backyard and growing herbs and stuff in the front yard, and I probably been like, that's maybe, but I don't see that happening. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's yeah, like I said, one of the reasons people split apart is because you can't accept what that person is going into, or you're not ready to be a part of what that person is going into, and that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes people grow apart, but it's really just figuring out who this person is becoming, who they are at their core, and just respecting and understanding their journey, and just letting them, giving them the freedom to be who they are. Not expecting people always. I see people all the time say, when we first started, you used to do this and do that. Well, my nigga, we 10 years in now. Like, it ain't gonna be the same. When we first started out, we took turns cooking, but after a while, situations change. We have kids, jobs change. I can't cook, if she's going to be at home before me, it's probably better for you to go ahead and cook. I do the dishes all the time, whether I cook or not. I do the dishes all the time. I just do the dishes.
Because he has a specific way that he likes his dishes done.
I'm OCD about the kitchen, so I do the dishes, but...
Have at it, friend. I hate dishes.
It's just understanding. It's still understanding. It's talking. It's loving and liking the person that you're with, and just wanting to see them at their full potential. Just really being into that person. It's kind of hard to try to explain it, but I mean that's what it is. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. It's just understanding who you with, and
you gotta know your people.
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 He knows that I am a free spirit, and that's one of the things that some people try to change that because, and not that I'm a little wild, and so he didn't want to change that part. It was just, how can you use that personality trait for us? How can we be okay? And he is okay with who you are as a person, who I am. He accepted things that other people would judge me for. And that made a difference for me. I accept things about him that other people may judge him for. Because I like him. 3 things to sustain a marriage: talking, having sex, trust.
Same. Good communication.
Good sex.
Trust. Work that for JJ.
Please. And thank you. Mm-hmm. We talked about the withholding. Again, that withholding. Using punishment to control that's controlling in a relationship.
Yeah,
that's a game. I'm not playing that game.
Yeah,
not playing it.
I have never slept on a couch. Ever. She's never kicked me out of a room. But that's because before we even got married,
he said, "I'm not sleeping on the couch."
Sleeping on no couch. I thought we was watching the TV. I laughed at the nigga going to sleep on. I'm not sleeping on no couch. You better take your ass out the room. I'm not mad.
I'm not mad.
I'm not mad. You go sleep on the couch. I can sleep in the bed very well with you and get some good sleep. I'm not upset.
A mess.
But yeah, trust, good communication, and if not good sex, I would say trust,
sustain,
trust, communication.
I'm still there.
Yeah, you need to have.
You have to. That
sex is very important.
It's important.
Yeah, it's not the most important thing, but it's definitely important. It could be
intimacy.
Intimacy. It could be. It could definitely release some pressure or release stress. We found that sometimes we might be snippy and bickering a little bit.
Just need
a little sex, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And that is it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we just told the world that we have sex. Oh my God! And we have 3 kids. Of course, we have sex. Duh.
But it's just finding somebody that you really like, you really care for.
We're never giving baby number 4. You know why? Vasectomies.
Oh no.
When we found out extra late that Tommy was coming. Like I was almost in my second trimester when we found out that Tommy was here, and that in November. I think I found out in August that I was pregnant. In November, he went and got snipped. We're not having unless it messed up or something. We're not having no more kids. I love the children that I have. We would make some beautiful, beautiful babies. I'm pretty sure that I would still be pregnant right now. Had he not gotten a vasectomy. But that was a conversation too. I hear a lot of men talking about, I ain't getting snipped. Your wife just had kids, bruh. Your wife or your girl had your kids. Why can't you get snipped? It's easier on everybody. I don't have to stay laid up for 6 to 8 weeks that I may or may not have because I gotta go to work. I
wanted to cut it off at the source. I wanted to make sure ain't no more babies, no chances.
The weird thing is that he has baby fever bad. He has baby fever real bad. I have a little bit of baby fever. He has baby fever bad. He is always sending me pictures or sharing videos of babies. And they super cute. And I'm like, oh, At 6:15, excuse me, 5:59 tomorrow, I guarantee you that one of the kids is going to be up. It's Saturday. They gonna get up.
I forgot to tell them to write down their number.
I can't get up in no time. And even when they were newborns, he was the one that would get up. Unless I was feeding, he was the one that got up and dealt with the kids. I don't get up out of my sleep. I'm not giving up my sleep no more. Anything else? Any other questions you have for us? Listen, I'm not going to be on these for real. Like, this is just his thing. And I'm so happy that he has started this. He has a lot of stuff that he thinks about, and he is very cerebral. And so, I don't know. I'm excited about what's going to happen, what the conversations are going to be like. Hopefully we get a good time. Let us know. Let him know what you want to do. We're going to be working through a lot of stuff. Things that have just pop up. I'm sorry. This your thing.
This his show, but let me tell y'all all about what he's going to be doing.
Let me tell you. I'm so used to it with Pick His Kids Read. I'm used to doing this. But I am excited. I am proud of you for starting.
So, this is my first show. The next one, probably not going to be about marriage. It's probably going to be something a little light about maybe music or movies or TV. I want to talk about all that stuff. Or I might talk about something that happened next week. You never know. It's 2022. You know, shit
All
happens
stuff.
every day.
Monkeypox popped up on us.
Monkeypox. Motherfuckers getting shot daily.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff that we could talk about, but I might keep it a little light next time and talk about some music or something. But if you have any more questions or if you have any more statements or anything that you think about, you can hit me here on this page. Of course, I think the live is going to stay up. You can also hit me on Facebook, Tru McFadden on Facebook, and let me know if you have any thoughts or anybody that sees this later. Hit me up. Let me know if you have any questions, any thoughts. I'm here. It's your boy Tru. Tru Be Talking.
See y'all later.